If you love good movies, then I'm certain that you have heard of the legend James Cameron, the director of the movie Avatar, which currently holds the top spot for the highest grossing movies of all time. For good reason. Well, for the 1% of the population that's unaware, Avatar 2 is set to hit cinemas in December 2022, and James Cameron has let it slip that the movie is kind of crazy. Watch the video till the end to find out all we know so far. First up, is Avatar 2 going to be bigger than Avatar 1? At the end of Part 1, Jake Sully, Sam Worthington, joins up with the native of Pandora to fight back against the RDA and evict them after gaining their trust by mounting the huge dragon-like beast, the Na'vi, both revered and feared. However, Avatar 2 is set to take a different turn as Jake and Neytiri are forced to leave their home in the rainforest because of the new threat to the Na'vi civilization. James Cameron, who plans to release 4 sequels, began planning Avatar 2 in 2012, so we know that it's going to be a blast. In the movie, which is going to be set below sea level, each actor had to train with professional divers until they could free dive, holding their breath for minutes at a time. According to the filmmaker, the journey in producing Avatar 2 makes kind of crazy an understatement, and it's all because Avatar 1 made so much money. Although we can't deny that Avatar 1 was a one-of-a-kind movie, I think we can trust James Cameron when he says Avatar 2 will be a blast. However, we can't tell if the director will be able to outdo himself. Is the release date of Avatar 2 confirmed? After much anticipation from fans of the Avatar sequel, the president of the 20th Century Studios, Steve Asbell, has made it public that the scheduled premiere date of the movie is December 16, 2022. After 13 years of waiting, we can all enjoy this masterpiece of a movie. In an interview, Steve Asbell emphatically confirmed this date, stating that the movie was not just a movie, but a saga, a family saga. He added that although fans are intrigued by the characters and are compelled to see more of them, they have done a lot of work on the characters to improve them. Steve expressed that this sequel would not ride on the fame of its predecessor, but create its own emotions in the hearts of fans. In his own words, it's less about Avatar being a really big movie and more about how Avatar creates a really important cultural moment for the audience. With all the hype around this movie, I really hope it doesn't disappoint. What do we know about the Avatar sequels? In case you're unaware, James Cameron plans to produce 4 sequels to Avatar. However, since we can't tell when we'll get to see all of them, let's focus on the one in sight. In Avatar 2, Jake Sully and Na'vi warrior Neytiri now live as a couple and have settled down with children. There have been a couple of pictures online that point out that the Avatar sequel is going to be underwater. Well, you're right, not just Avatar 2, but Avatar 3 is going to be mostly set in and around the ocean. According to the producer, John Landau, the movie is centered around family and how far parents will go to ensure that their family is safe. He also added that what he loves about James Cameron is that his movies always tell a story, and that this sequel is about the most important family. While we can only fantasize about what this monument of a movie will offer us, it is certainly going to be intense. I bet you can't wait any longer. Is the set for the Avatar sequel underwater? The producer made it public that the movie is going to be introducing a clan of underwater-dwelling Na'vi called the Metkayina. According to Landau, while the first film was set in the rainforest, with its cautionary tale about deforestation, this movie advocates for ocean conservation. James Cameron has always expressed his love for the ocean, so he saw the movie as a chance to combine his greatest loves, one of which is ocean exploration, the other feature filmmaking. However, he explained that it was quite difficult to pull off. He stated that the editing process of the first Avatar is totally different from the second, as the process designed for the first wasn't intended to work underwater. So the team had to create a way to record the movement and expressions of the actors when submerged in water so that everything would look real. After recording these movements, the footage was sent to Weta Digital, a multi-Oscar-winning visual effects company. He also explained that most of their filming took place in a 900,000-gallon tank, built specifically for the sequels. The tanks were also used to mimic ocean currents and crashing waves. With all these in place, I really doubt that critics will have anything to say about this movie. Will the actors stay submerged in water? You already know that the movie is going to be set underwater, but you might be wondering whether the actors are really going to be underwater, or maybe it will be CGI. Well, James Cameron explained that his team preferred that the underwater scenes were performed with ropes to mimic underwater movements, but it did not look real to him. So he had most of the members of the cast train with professional divers because scuba technology and air bubbles would interfere with filming. The actors learned how to free dive and hold their breath for longer periods. James Cameron was impressed by 72-year-old Sigourney Weaver, who died in the first film but is returning in Avatar 2. According to him, she could easily hold her breath for 6.5 minutes. Kate Winslet, who is a new cast member, playing one of the Metkayina, was able to stay underwater for 7.5 minutes. The producer John Landau expressed that one of his best memories while filming was seeing Kate Winslet walking on the bottom of the 40 feet circular tank filled with water and waving at him. James Cameron surely knows how to make a good movie. Are there plans for any more Avatar sequels? James Cameron has made public that there will be 4 sequels to the Avatar movie. While James and Landau acknowledged that making Avatar 1 was a big feat to accomplish, taking more than a decade to make it to screen, the duo believes that they can do better. They attest that their goal is to aim higher and dive deeper. Avatar 3 is due in 2024, and Weta Digital, the visual effects associate, has begun early post-production on some scenes. John Landau explained that their mission to always outdo themselves in movie making is exciting and challenging. They affirm that in the sequels to come, much effort will be put into improving the performance of the cast, while putting much more diversity into the world they are creating. Are there any changes to the Avatar cast in this sequel? While we all like to see the old characters for nostalgia's sake, sometimes new characters are needed to freshen things up. Some characters from Avatar 1 are present in this sequel, like Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana, who are irreplaceable. Although Sigourney Weaver will be present, she will be playing a different role. Some of the new cast members are Academy Award winner Kate Winslet from Titanic, and although not yet fully confirmed or denied, Vin Diesel. We all know that James Cameron can't go wrong in movie making, but the presence of these two great actors will give fans something more to be expectant for. What does James Cameron think of his new movie? Undertaking a huge project like Avatar ought to come with its risk. Although Avatar 1 broke the box office when it was released in 2009, it is not certain that Avatar 2 would do the same, and James Cameron is aware of this. According to the director, the movie industry has changed a lot since the first Avatar. Back then, Netflix was still gaining popularity, and the original Avatar studio, 20th Century Fox, was still years away from being absorbed by Disney. With superhero movies making the list of top-grossing movies, James Cameron hopes that the audience will still be able to connect with his vision. A lot of money has been spent on making the movie, but is the movie going to make any money? Although we can't deny that superhero movies have the most attention, I think Avatar 2 is going to do pretty well. After all, in 2019, Avengers Endgame surpassed Avatar 1, but it later snatched its crown back. Whether or not it can beat the box office numbers of Avatar 1 is left to the fates. Well guys, that's all the information we have concerning the upcoming Avatar sequel. Do you think Vin Diesel is going to be a part of the sequel? Do you think Avatar 2 can outdo its predecessor? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section.